Where's the host?
My name is Nicole Lauren, and welcome to Season 9 of On Time Cooking. I would like to inform you that we are now on Amazon. Come be inspired and follow our invited chefs as you learn cooking tips and transform your cooking skills with us all season long and beyond. Please subscribe for more information. The VPN Foundation is a nonprofit broadcast channel to benefit art education for children.
Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to On Time Cooking. My name is Van Reed and tonight I'm the host, replacing Elena for a minute. But anyways, we also have another replacement here. We got our musician, Stefan. How are you?
Wonderful. Great to be here.
Yeah, glad you are here too. And our co-host tonight also is Donna Reed. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Very good. Yes, our crew got a little smaller tonight, but our comedian, foodie, and chef is John Salustio. Hey!
Hello, Vaughn.
Hey, what an entrance. You were sleeping for a minute.
I was waiting for the big smoke to go off. It's exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Got everything. We got a little chill. So what are we cooking tonight?
Tonight, we are going to make a simplified version of chicken marsala. So thank you for tuning in to On Time Cooking. We're going to do a certain theme for tonight. It's going to be keep it simple. It's the I wish I could, but I don't have the time cooking tonight.
And simplified version. I don't know how that will taste.
I guess we'll find out.
I guess I have to expose myself to find that information. I'm not going to take any more of your time. Good luck.
Thank you. Again, thank you for tuning in. The reason I came here tonight, with Vaughn's permission, is I've seen a lot of cooking shows, and there are a lot of complicated dishes. They taste fantastic, but after a long day of work, one thing you don't want to do is spend a lot of time cooking and then having to do a lot of dishes afterwards. So my goal tonight is to show you a simple way to have what's perceived as a somewhat complicated dish. So we're making the poor man's, simple man's chicken marsala. First thing we're going to do, we got the pan heating up over here. We're going to put a little bit of oil in there. Just a little bit. And for those that don't know, a little bit is an actual unit of measure. It's somewhere between not quite enough and too much. Get that swirling around a little. Now with chicken marsala, when you go to a restaurant, you get the chicken and you have a little bit of the marsala sauce on top of it, and then you have the pasta. We're showing you how to do it so it's nice and easy. So the first thing you generally tend to do when that's heating is you're going to slice up some mushroom. I would love to, but I don't have the time. So instead, get the mushroom already sliced. It's prepared. Why go through all that if someone else has already done that for you? And we'll just put that in.
Does chicken marsala always have mushrooms?
As far as I know, it always has mushrooms. I know I like it. And one great thing about the mushrooms is that, I love the flavor that it brings. Some people don't. Whenever my family smells mushrooms cooking, they go, "Oh, Dad's cooking mushrooms. What's the number to Domino's?"
So they don't want mushrooms on their pizza?
They don't want mushrooms on the pizza. They don't want mushrooms anywhere, but I can't have the marsala without it. It's just part of it.
Okay.
So we're letting that go a little bit. And thyme is an important ingredient with the marsala. It's one of the main flavors of it. And generally you go and you get the dried thyme and you slice it up. And I would love to, but I don't have the time for that either. So we're going to take the dried thyme leaves and we're going to put in a little bit. And the reason I say that is that it varies with the people. It's kind of a strong flavor. Some people like it, some people don't like it so much. So you want to enhance it, not overpower. And we just get that cooking. Perfect.
So where'd you learn to cook?
I kind of learned from my mom.
Oh, kind of?
Yeah, my mom, she's Polish, Czechoslovakian. She married an Italian.
Oh,
and
cooking is in everybody's blood then.
The first time she cooked for the in-laws that came over on the big boat from Italy, she made sauce for them. Except her sauce was kind of thin. And so she thickened the sauce by putting in flour. It didn't go over so well. Didn't make a great impression with them. And unfortunately, being only half Italian, I only cook with one hand, so it takes me a little bit longer than some. We're getting that browning, just don't want it to stick. Another thing, growing up, I always liked wet foods. Well, we had a lot of gravy, a lot of sauces.
Right.
So, chicken marsala, chicken divine, things like that. Look at the slow motion, it's pretty cool. So I kind of developed volcano cooking. Volcano cooking isn't because of the hot spices, but you take a base. You can take white rice, yellow rice, mashed potatoes, and you put that in a bowl, kind of put it around, and then you take a saucy type of dish and put it in the middle of it. So people have stew, and usually you have some stew, some Italian bread, that's how we did it. But with the volcano type of cooking, you can put white rice around it and then put the stew in the middle of it, or egg noodles, or pasta. That's starting to come out nice. Starting to smell the thyme and the mushrooms. Let that go just a little bit more, and then we'll add the chicken to it.
So when you go out to a restaurant and you order chicken, do you order chicken marsala so you can test it against your own?
Sometimes, but it's because it is easy to make. It seems complicated, but it's not that bad, especially if you take the shortcuts.
Okay.
Like putting in the mushroom that's already sliced.
Right.
Like using the dried
thyme
instead of having to cut it up on your own. And so to get the chicken going,
I think most people who, work a full-time job and have to cook these days, that's how they're going to cook. They're going to take whatever shortcut they can find because you only have so much energy.
Exactly. Who wants to? Plus, you have more time for family time or yourself. One little trick that a lot of people don't know, you'll notice that the chicken is cut up. If you go to the guy behind the counter, the meat counter, you can buy the chicken and say, "Could you please cut this up for me?" They'll cut it up into bite-sized pieces, whatever you want.
Oh.
So it saves a lot of time because normally you're cooking the chicken and it takes a half hour or so to cook. And because we have the thyme mixed in with there, we're sending the chicken in it. And I am putting in enough for approximately 4 to 6 people.
Okay.
So we've got 4 chicken breasts cut up. Because it's a little bit smaller pan than what I'm used to. I'm used to more like a kettle. We're going to turn up the temperature a little bit just to get this browning and cooking.
Did you just say the pan is a little smaller than you're used to?
For this amount.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's okay.
How big is your family?
I don't know you well enough.
Well, you said something about the kids. The kids know you're cooking. I just wondered how often you have to feed a large crew.
See, and that's one of the other things about the volcano type of cooking. Because some people like the base, some people just like to have the main dish.
Right.
If you're having chili, some people just like to have chili and crackers. But if you put the rice around it, so you have that and it's a nice meal, it just depends. It has the flexibility. With my family, sometimes somebody likes something, but it's hardly ever the case where all 4 of them agree on the same thing. I don't know if you have the same thing with your families, but it makes it kind of challenging.
Yes.
So you have a little bit of variety, a little bit that they can build on or with, and they can omit some, have it, however they want to do that. And we are going to start the pasta. Tonight we're using penne pasta. It's traditional. Personally, I like egg noodles with it.
Yeah.
The egg noodles just give a little bit better flavor. And make sure we put a little bit of oil in here, just a little bit, because it keeps the penne pasta from sticking together, which is something you don't want.
When I remember, though I'm not a good cook myself, but the one thing I remember somebody telling me was fat kills the foam, which is always reminded me to put oil in with the pasta.
That might work as well, because I do remember the foam. So twofold, serves both purposes. So now we've got that going. We won't do this anymore. Another advantage, because I like the wet foods, with having the chicken cut up, when you have the chicken marsala at a restaurant, you have the chicken and you have the marsala sauce on top of it, but with it being in bite-sized pieces like this, you have more of the sauce around the chicken, so it's more flavorful.
That's true. They usually just serve a great big honkin' chicken breast at the restaurant.
Yeah, and the chicken is usually so-so, but the marsala is always good.
Uh-huh.
And again, putting the thyme in early is just to get the flavor going a little bit faster. A little bit more so. The more spice or seasoning is able to cook within the dish, the more flavorful it's going to be. Keep the oil going. Starting to smell good already.
It is. It smells delicious in here.
The other thing about this, you want to keep it easy to remember in terms of what the quantities are, the proportions for your ingredients. For this, we're using approximately 4 chicken breasts. Easy to remember that if we're doing 4 chicken breasts, cut that in half. So 2 cups of the chicken broth, cut that in half, 1 cup of the marsala wine. We'll prop this because marsala is going to go in first. And again, if you like the marsala, you want more of the marsala flavor, you can do a little bit more.
Okay.
And we'll go ahead and now I got the mushrooms cooking really well. I'm just trying to move it around a little bit so the chicken has a chance to cook a little bit more evenly. And we are now going to add the marsala wine. Do that kind of slow because it just coats things.
And the reason for doing it slow?
Showmanship.
Oh, okay.
Nothing more. You don't want to splash it, but
Yeah.
I've seen all the fancy chefs do that. You
Yeah.
just pour around it. while this is starting to cook, it's one of those times that
You got
Yes,
15
it's one of
minutes.
those times, and the time is here. What we got?
right now we have chicken, mushrooms, thyme, and wine. So we're off to a good start on it.
Wine, not everybody drinks wine in this show, man. It's
I saw that
higher
here.
education for kids and all of that stuff. You can't teach them to drink.
So for all you kids out there, don't drink the wine.
So,
We're going to cook the alcohol content right out of it, so it's okay.
how did you came up with this recipe?
I had it in a couple of restaurants, really liked it, started doing it at home, finding recipes online, and my wife actually had a good recipe as well. But because of how long it took to cook, and I just kind of altered it to fit what I need to have done. So being able to cook it a little bit faster, having more of the sauce to it, it just personalized it for me.
So basically you throw your mom's recipe out of the window.
Absolutely.
Just for the sake of your time.
It's not about her anymore.
Anyways, whatever, John.
She cut the strings, you know? Or did I cut the... Somebody cut some strings. Anyway, this is where we're at.
Yeah.
If you excuse me, I gotta put some of the broth in.
Sure, go ahead. Keep doing whatever you're doing.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for you. You don't have the blonde lady as a host. You got me as the host, but that's fine.
You could have dyed your hair.
That's not even enough. Anyways, are you getting the hang of the kitchen?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yes.
Alright, I'll let you go. So how are you doing, Donna?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing
Very
fine.
good.
Enjoying all the good smells.
How's your business doing? Diorama, painting, etc.?
My business, Donna Built, isn't doing too bad. I'm just getting things ramped up. I do artwork and I do miniatures. So two
Very
things
nice.
that are fun.
I hear a little good thing about your last expo you did.
Ah, yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, that was good. Anyways, let's take a break. Are you ready, Stefan, to delight us with one of your original solos?
Sure, man.
Alright, let's go ahead. Let's take a break, guys. Let's take a break.
Not you, John.
Thank you, Stefan.
Very nice. Great to be surrounded by so much talent.
Was that your own original, or what was that? You were playing?
Absolutely. Oh, I can only play original here for copyright reasons.
That's right.
A lot of stuff I play is so original, I haven't even heard it. So.
If somebody enjoys your music, do you play anywhere? Or do you...
I do. You can go to etarist.com. E-T-A-R-I-S-T, etarist, like an electric guitar. Etarist.com. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And the other thing while this is cooking, I noticed the artwork around here. What is that with the paintings and what's on the refrigerator? Very
Well,
cool.
these are donations of mine from Donnaville, and you've only got 10 minutes left, by the way. This kind of art is really fun to do. It's more what I call fun art versus fine art. I also do fine art, but this is these are called dirty pours, and you literally pour the paint on the canvas, and let gravity do its thing. So it's a lot of fun.
They're awesome. Now you may have noticed, hey John, you didn't put in any thickening agent. I know a lot of people will use either a flour or something else or a cornstarch or something to put in to thicken it. This is one of your best friends for chicken marsala.
What's it called again?
Mushroom gravy.
Okay.
Powder version.
Okay.
The reason it's great is because it does thicken, but it doesn't dilute the flavor. So great thickening agent, and we'll do this way so the camera can get the shot of it. Just pour that in.
And I noticed you put how much of the chicken broth in? 2 cups?
2 cups of the chicken broth. So we got the 4 chicken breasts, 2 chicken broth,
1 cup of marsala.
1 cup of marsala, and you put in 1 packet of the gravy per chicken breast that you're doing. Again, very simple.
So you've got 4 packets of the mushroom?
I've got 4 packets of the mushrooming.
Of the gravy, okay.
And then we're going to turn it down a little bit to simmer because we have a little bit of time, so we're doing okay on that. And then we just hope it really thickens, well, because that's what it's designed to do. This is normally when I get in trouble. I love to cook because it's quiet time. And knowing the director here, Mr. Castell, he directs a lot, I write, and some of the ideas just come when you're sitting here not doing anything.
Right.
You start wondering about things like, gee, there's this brain supplement that's supposed to help you, and it's made from an enzyme from a jellyfish? Wow, wait a minute, jellyfish don't have brains. It didn't work for the jellyfish, why do I think it'll work for me? And then ideas come.
I think a lot of people find that when they do something that's, is just them doing it, then, it's reflective time lots of times.
Yes. One important thing when you're making the chicken marsala, depending on how many people you're making it for, is to pay attention to the size that you're putting in.
The what?
The amount of, the quantity of ingredients you're putting in.
Oh, okay. So that doesn't overflow the pan, huh?
So it doesn't overflow the pan. Plus, you don't want the gravy to be clumpy.
Okay, and how long does it usually take to thicken?
6 minutes. It shouldn't take too long.
Okay.
The pasta is pretty much done.
Well, you've got about 7 minutes left, so.
Well, I'm not worried about it at all because
good.
I understand that I'm not the one eating it.
No.
Whoops, so sorry. That's why we're not professionals here. That's why I'm not a chef, I'm a cook. I haven't earned the right to be a chef. I have a lot of respect for the people that are chefs. It is an art.
It is an art, and it's something that some people have and some people don't. I don't, but I admire people who can taste something and know that it needs more garlic or something like that. I'm like, I couldn't even taste the garlic.
Precisely. I like making people laugh. People that are chefs like to have people enjoy or get enjoyment out of what they do.
Right.
We all do our own little thing to try to brighten people's day.
How often do you cook this at home?
Just once every probably a few weeks.
Oh, well, that's not bad. Yeah.
Just starting to thicken a touch.
I particularly liked your tip on having the grocery store cut up the meat for you. I never even thought of that.
You can do the same thing if you're doing something with a steak or beef.
Yeah.
Have them cut that up. You put it in with gravy, and you
Right.
put that in egg noodles or something.
Right.
I think my favorite dish growing up was taking some white rice and putting it in a bowl, and then taking a can of chunky soup.
Right, right.
And you put it
Right.
in the egg noodles or the rice.
When you get about 5 minutes left.
Okay, so not thickening as much as. I don't know if you're just being more authentic or if I've been demoted. And we're turning it up to try to cook it down a little bit, try to get it to thicken more, a little faster.
So your wife cooks too, right?
She cooks also. She's a very good cook.
Okay, so do you guys
Those
cook
are
together?
No. No. It was her chicken Devon that got me to marry her.
Ah. I don't know too many couples that cook together. Paula and Vaughn are about the only two I know.
Well, everybody has their own way of doing things. And
Yes.
I think that letting go and letting one of the people do the cooking
Yeah.
is very important to a marriage.
Yeah.
It's learning the give and take.
Yes.
And I used to make a lot of cooking recommendations to my wife. I spent a lot of nights alone on the couch. I learned that she doesn't like recommendations because it makes her feel that she's not doing it good enough. So I'd be careful with that. But luckily she's very good and I don't have to do that.
So are you teaching your children to cook?
They are the weirdest kids like that now. I would like to, yes, they are starting to learn how to cook. One daughter likes having a lot of the same types of foods that we have, at least trying them, and the other one just loves to bake.
Ah.
She is fantastic when it comes to cakes and decorating and pies. So it's just fun to watch, and
Yes.
it's also fun to be part of it.
Yes, it is.
All right, how much time do we have? Because this is done.
3 minutes.
Oh, good. We'll turn that off, just keep it warm then. And this is starting to thicken, but it's taking a little bit longer. Because right now it's looking like soup. We don't want it to look like soup. Eventually, if we had time lapse, this would cook down. This would cook down. But you get the idea. Family of 4, 30 minutes,
Right.
you have a nice meal. Now after a long day of work, you come home, be able to make this, have a decent meal with the family, then rush off to do one of Rick's plays. And you see it's starting to thicken. Again, my apologies, it is taking a little bit longer than I hoped. And I'm making a mess, oh my goodness. Looks pretty. That's it. I'm going to disappoint Vaughn. He's going to fire me.
Highly possible. You've only got about a minute
It's
left.
going to problem. I've already been demoted.
Well, that was by your choosing.
I love to cook, love to make people laugh. Growing up, my father always made us watch these documentary shows. You know, the kind like Mutual of Omaha, Wild Kingdom, where Marlon Perkins would be at some distant,
Yes.
far-off land and, oh, look at those Aborigines. They look really dangerous. Let's send Jim, see if they're friendly.
Yeah, yes.
But one thing I learned is that...
Okay, you do have 1 minute left.
That's fine.
Serving time, bro.
All right, we will get it served. I learned that laughter is universal,
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
like
Okay.
food.
Hi, food,
So-
music, and math. All universal. And art.
I also learned that you can't laugh and think about your troubles at the same time.
Right.
So I try to give people a little bit of a break from that. So whenever I could, just make their day a little bit brighter, make them smile, give them a break from their trouble. Now we're doing the shake.
Your time is I'm so sorry for you.
Don't be sorry, this is great.
Look, I have to imitate your intro. Hold on.
I don't remember that noise.
That's the noise of inevitability, Mr. Salustio. What is this, man? Do you think I'm Asian? I don't eat in a bowl like that. I'm in a plate. It's like American do.
Haven't you been listening to the show Bowl Food? Volcano cooking. You put the perimeter. This is like looking down into a volcano.
Volcano.
Do I have to rewind the tape and start over and explain to you that this is...
What is the fire?
It's not about the fire, it's about the aesthetics.
The presentation.
It's about looking down. Now some people like to put cheese on it, some people don't.
So look down on this.
No, wait, no, don't look down on this. Come on, it's not that bad.
Looks good. It smells good too.
3 minutes, this would be thick.
That's how you present a dish, man.
It looks very nice. Thank you. You make even my cooking look good.
You are good, but not that good.
What? I slaved over this for you, Mom. I almost sweat, Mom.
You're right. I ate better.
But once it thickens, you have more gravy
You gotta
all
hit your
around.
mouth, Oban.
And is that you pretend to eat it? This is great.
So do you taste the Marcella?
Yeah. Why?
One little key that I didn't mention is that we always use lower sodium broth.
Oh.
If you were to use regular chicken broth instead, a lot of salt content to it, and you would just be tasting salt all night. So definitely use a lower sodium content.
Okay, cool.
So this is a mom and pop dish, nothing fancy. This is...
It's a decent meal, a little fancy. I wouldn't say nothing fancy.
No, this is blue collar dish.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. But
You're wearing a blue collar.
I'm putting a label, so... Donna, would you try this recipe at home?
Yes, I would.
Why?
Because I'm a lazy cook.
That works. They're trying to be a little efficient cooking.
Okay, I'm an efficient cook.
You know, word choice is
Well,
important
he gave us
here.
some good shortcuts that I really appreciated hearing.
I can tell you were really impressed with going to the counter and having them cut the meat for you.
Yes, I was. I like that idea.
So did the ingredients intimidate you, Donna?
Not at all. They're all simple things.
That's the idea.
Yep.
They have plenty of time to spend with the kids, the family, or working on your
Forget
next show.
Forget about them. Forget about the kids. It's what you put in your body. They can feed themselves on McDonald's and things like that. But we can't eat like this, man. I know. I know.
Are you okay? Need CPR?
I saw your picture 15 years ago. And that's when your mom was feeding you real good food. Right? You were an athlete. You got two ladies on your lap, bro. Those are the golden days, right? That's when mom gave you those food, right?
Yeah, it was more than 15 years ago, unfortunately.
How long was that?
16, yeah, we were 16.
16 now, it was more probably, right?
But I felt bad. This last Mother's Day?
You were an athlete, man.
Yeah, I know.
And then got into comedy?
Getting into comedy. Again, like make people laugh, then been doing more time doing community theater instead though.
And that worked. I mean, I saw your plays 2 years in a row, and I always laugh at your play. And you always play high too, actually, every time you are on those plays, which makes me very jealous too.
I know, I haven't been in any of yours yet.
Yeah, no, mine's always on the bottom, but your stuff look good. Not in the kitchen though. In the kitchen, it's not bad. And I apologize, you don't have the real host, which I'm a real
No, you're doing great.
mean guy.
I think you'll be able to keep your job at least for another
That's
week.
why they kicked me out. Yeah, 6 days, because next Wednesday I'm not gonna be here. But no, you have to work on this, and more fresh herb, coriander, oregano on top, you know, better dish, better presentation. No cat corner if you have time. You can be a...
If you have time.
But that wasn't the goal. The goal, Vaughn, was to
This
save
is it. I would
time.
love to, but I don't have the time.
Yeah, anyways, our viewers doesn't have the time anyways. Any last words?
Thank you for having me on the show. Would love to come back. Great group. Thank you very much, Donna.
All
Great
right.
visiting with
We'll
you.
have John back, yes. I need another shortcut
Maybe we
recipe.
can kidnap the show. If he's
There you
not going
go.
to be here,
Right.
you know, John kidnap the show and I'll make another mediocre dish for you. Good for you, but
All right, guys, let's take it outside. See you next Wednesday. This was On Time Cooking. Bye-bye.
so long,
Bye.
everyone.
You did great, John.
Yeah, not really.